Warning. Spoiler alert. Warning. Spoiler alert. Warning. Spoiler alert.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good evening, whatever time it is where you are in your neck of the woods. Welcome to the Shorts and Hoodies show. And we're here to review a movie all together. So taking a little bit of a different tack with our Sunday shows. And now we're going to be reviewing a particular movie, all three of us. And this week, the movie that we are reviewing is the highly talked about on social media. If you live in a bubble on Twitter, maybe you haven't heard of it, but it is Don't Look Up. This is a movie from Adam McKay, story by David Sirota, the journalist. We have got Leonardo DiCaprio. We've got Jennifer Lawrence coming back. We haven't seen her in a while. Welcome back, Jen. We've got Meryl Streep. We've got several other great people in this cast, and we're here to talk about it. So hello, I'm Stephanie, and up to this side, we've got
Jared and the Flock.
Hello, sir. And to this side, our fearless leader. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Mr. Dash, what's going on?
Hello, sir. So we're going to start out with a bit of a thoughts and feelings. Jared, we'll start with you. Give us your thoughts and feelings overall about this Don't Look Up presentation.
So I watched the movie yesterday, and then I listened to a couple of YouTube videos on it to kind of pinpoint some other things that were out there, and I felt it was a cliche disaster movie, but like it had so many nifty little Easter eggs in it. It made it pretty damn cool. Like I thought it was pretty nice. I liked the movie. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, Dash! There we go. Let's kick it over to Dash. Dash, what were your many thoughts and feelings?
I absolutely hated it.
Yeah,
I thought this movie.
I had a feeling you might.
I thought this movie was so boring, and I think what made it even worse for me is that you had all of these Academy Award nominated and winners in this movie, and I think my tagline for this was, if this movie didn't have Oscar-nominated actors, it would have gone straight to Redbox or Crackle. Like, I did not
Crackle's
like
saying a lot.
I did not like the script. I thought it was just an okay movie, and that's not to take anything away from Leo or J-Law or Meryl Streep or Jonah Hill, who are all great at what they do. I didn't think this cast meshed well together. I thought the comedy, I thought the script just lacked. And that's saying a lot because Adam McKay, who, I mean, this is Step Brothers, this is, Talladega Nights, this is a comedy. He's great at writing comedy stuff, but with his darker comedies, I just don't like it for some reason, and it has nothing to do with political stuff or anything like that. And we'll get into more, but there's just a lot of stuff about this movie that I did not like. What did you think?
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of, it sounds like, so Jared really liked it and you really didn't like it. I think I'm somewhere in between the two of you guys. Ladies, sorry, couldn't help it. My thoughts on the movie are, so I'm going to judge the movie based on the movie itself that was presented, not what I know about what he intended the purpose of the movie to be, and any of that. If I was going in completely blind, just watching the movie, it is your typical attempt at there's a comet coming towards Earth, which we've seen several times, right? We've seen Armageddon, we've seen Deep Impact, we've seen several of the movies. It's not an unfamiliar plot, and that's why it was used, right? It's a very familiar plot, blockbuster-wise. It is a movie that wanted to show us a lot of what the filmmaker thinks is very inane behavior in society, right? Where if there was some horrible disaster, all of us, or well, not all of us, but there's a large portion of the media circus that is focused on garbage, right? And that's not untrue. There is a lot. Whenever I have a visceral feeling whenever I see, let's go to Twitter and see what Twitter thinks, where I'm like, can we go to a professional, like an adult? I don't give a shit about somebody depends on who it is on Twitter, right? Neil deGrasse Tyson is on Twitter. Some people don't like him. Some people do. There's several scientists that have Twitter. Brian Cox has a Twitter account, right? And that kind of was Leo's character, kind of a sexy scientist, person that, He's such a hot scientist. It's a real thing. It does happen. I've seen women thirst after Brian Cox, which is, like I say, pretty men are only prettier to me if they got a pretty brain. So I kind of understand it a little bit, right? The film is just content with pointing out the things that are there. And I don't think the film has much to say about anything beyond that. It's just kind of pointing out that a large portion of media is focused on trivial presentations of dark subject matter, and they don't want people to be upset. Yep. Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
I mean, I see your point, and that's why after I watched everything and I kind of learned about the whole back process, why I thought it was a good movie. But I'm right there with you. I think it's maybe this is why Dash doesn't like it. It was just too on the nose. Like he wrote this before the pandemic. This was a social call out that was not meant to like mimic what was literally happening, and we've been living in it for the last two and a half years now. And Dash, maybe that's why you didn't like it, because like that was my thoughts throughout the whole movie. Is like this is just hitting everything on the nose.
Here's the other half of it. Why I go on Dash's side a little bit. It was content to point those things out, kind of lazily. Like, yeah, yep, and like I kept waiting for the punchline of the joke. Like, yes, yep, we are all on Twitter and Twitch, and that's whatever. I mean, that's not fair to people that are on YouTube and Twitter all the time. I mean, there are people that do good stuff, and there's a reason for people on YouTube and Twitter. It's fun content to connect with other people about things you like. That's what YouTube is to me. That's what Twitch is to me. The movie is a little discontent with pointing things out and didn't really have in my opinion, a very intelligent response to it. It just didn't feel very super intelligent, which is fine for like a normal crappy blockbuster, which is fine. I wouldn't expect that of Armageddon or Deep Impact. But Adam McKay wants to pretend that the movie is some big call to action behind the scenes. And Leo DiCaprio is talking about climate change and all those things. I asked my husband and my father-in-law, who watched it with me after the movie, I asked them, did you realize at any point that was supposed to be a metaphor for climate change? And they're like, what? No, I didn't get any of that. Like, yeah, see, so the satire at once is too broad and too unspecific to do its job, and it's too broad and too unspecific without a punchline to fully hit home. So it could be really fun and enjoyable. It is fun and funny to see Ariana Grande play the role that she plays, but like the end of the movie, I mean, super sad. Yeah, we would just sit and have a dinner because I don't trust Elon Musk to fix things for us either. And Adam McKay, I agree with you. I don't trust him.
I don't know.
And
I see things a little bit different than that. As you were talking about that, it was almost like Adam sat down and went, what are all the stereotypes for something like this? And it was almost like they had a list too long.
Yeah,
to dive into things. And I didn't even like the Ariana Grande thing. It was almost put in there to go, hey, we got Ariana Grande in a movie, right? And we're just we're gonna have her call Leo an old fuck. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like, wouldn't you like that? And it was just, I don't know, it was super cringe to me.
I think part of that was it was intended to be cringe. I think that's. I see what you're saying.
The whole movie came off.
But the whole movie was that, right? Yeah. So I can't disagree with you. It was there because of the fact that it felt cringe.
Yeah.
But then the movie didn't have anything else to like elevate it beyond that. Personally,
if we're gonna call that Twitter, the whole movie was an hour and a half, 2 hour tweet.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, that could have gone out.
I've seen people on Twitter
all those millions on that.
I've seen people on Twitter do a better job of it. Yeah.
I think it's just interesting how it was just, I mean, you guys are right. It hit on every social commentary that we've been having for the last 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, I mean, I'm right there with Steph. I was like, I'm waiting for that punchline. I'm waiting for the other thing. And it wasn't until, like I said, after I had learned about everything, that I was like, interesting. So he basically predicted everything and then made a movie about what he predicted. And just called it out because that's what the world is like. And I mean, it's interesting to kind of watch something that you totally 100% agree on, but like, otherwise I give it like a C. It's just like, I'm like, okay, this is just a good, like Dash said, it's a good Redbox immediate release or just go to Crackle movie. Mm-hmm. But like, I need a little bit more than just like, dude, I agree with everything, but this is supposed to be a debate. We're supposed to chat back and forth. Like, I already know people are stupid, and I am part of that stupidity on some levels as well too.
I don't necessarily care about a debate. It is his film, and he's allowed to do what he wants. So I'll give him. He got the money to do it. He's like, this is my point of view. There is this horrible thing on the horizon, and the movie's incredibly cynical that he thinks that humanity is so bad that, and I can definitely empathize with the point that it does seem based on. Overall, all the characters in the movie have no idea how to talk to each other. Yep. None of them have any idea, it feels like, what actual human communication sounds like. Leo is trying to talk like a scientist. People who are vapid and on the news don't, they're like, bleh, math. I've dealt with that when I try to explain technical concepts to people, and they're like, just give me the simple version. And I want to punch them in the face. Like, no, like, this stuff actually matters a little bit. Learn. It doesn't hurt your brain, I promise you. I get all that frustration.
What is vapid? Sorry, I want to learn.
Vapid, brainless, just head full of air. Okay. Yeah, so they're very vapid, very shallow. Yeah, no worries. Very vapid, very shallow. They're very much, concerned with appearances and how things look and things like that. It's very shallow. And I felt a little bit of a connection to Leo trying to be a scientist and tell people technical concepts and them go, no math, ew, gross. Right? I too have wanted to punch people. I get that, but you can't just point that out and have that be, oh, that's the script. I pointed those things out. Story done. I don't know. Maybe maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe he thinks he just needs to point it out, and maybe we'll see the error of our ways, and maybe we'll be a little better. That'd be great. I don't think this is the movie that's going to do it.
I don't know. I will say I hate ragging on a movie the whole time.
Sure, it's got lots of funny stuff. I'll give it that.
I will say Chris Evans cameo.
Oh yeah,
cool.
That's pretty funny.
I was like, as soon as I was like, I don't know who this actor. Why do I know that voice?
Yeah, I knew who that was immediately.
Captain?
Oh, Cap.
That's you. Yeah. So that's it. That was my only thing I pulled from it. I really did. I love Jonah Hill. I really do. Mm-hmm. I couldn't stand him. I didn't, and maybe that.
I don't think you were supposed to be able to stand him. Yeah,
yeah. But it was like
a little too effective.
Well, that bag that he carried around, like he made a point to show off that bag to be, and I'm using a word I just learned here, vapid. He wanted to be that pretentious asshole. That's what I kind of got.
Carrying his mom's purse is what I took. He's carrying his mom's purse all the time.
Yeah.
If that was supposed to be a metaphor for, you know, I won't name it. I won't name his name, but we all know who I'm referring to. Who's the child of a?
We'll say John Jr.
John Jr. Correct.
Jr.
Yeah, John Jr. We all know who that's supposed to be a metaphor. And that's the problem I have with, this is not about politics, but I am of a certain political opinion in a lot of things and certain political opinions in a lot of other things, right? I am somebody who is very worried about climate change. I do think it is and I'm biased. My mother is a scientist. I am somebody that loves science, and I have read a lot of the stuff about it. And I get you, Adam. Yep. Yeah. We should feel a little bit of dread about some of the weather patterns that we're seeing and what may or may not be causing that. That is anxiety inducing. Absolutely. But what does this movie do to improve or move that problem forward? My problem with a lot of people on the left, they are more, the movie actually is doing it, what it's calling out. In the movie, they're just having a big concert to raise awareness, to get something done. And okay, what are you actually doing to get something done? I mean, same goes to me too. I just give money. What am I actually doing to get something done? What is this movie doing besides saying, hey, we're all idiots, that's going to actually get something done? Plus, on top of that, there's a lot of really funny stuff. It is funny to watch Leo's performance as he's like having an anxiety attack and going from that to what he is towards the end, where he's the super suave, sexy scientist. Leo's great. He could do this role in his sleep, frankly.
Right? The script would have been better though. Like it just felt like a lazy script. I mean, you have all these amazing actors and actresses, and
I wanted to see Quentin Tarantino do this movie.
they put so much into their craft. Maybe you should have too, Adam. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why
Well, I mean, like,
joke should
that's
have
why
been
I
a bit
say
better.
this movie would if this movie was made with like B or C list actors, it would have gone straight to Redbox or Crackle, because
Probably.
the script. I mean, this is a Bruce Willis movie waiting to happen. This is a Bruce Willis, who was Josh Hartnett. Like those actors who were big at one time. And I'm not, again, nothing.
You leave the
against
Minnesota
them.
boy out of this.
They're good actors, but
They
they
are.
have fallen into that slump of you don't
Josh.
necessarily go straight to movie theaters.
I still see
Or
Josh at
the
Mall of
streaming
America every once in
services.
a while. There's
But I'm
that.
saying, like, you
Is
have
that
those
personal?
those actors like end up in movies,
Yeah.
that go straight to Redbox, and you're
Yes.
like, what is that?
Yeah. When did this come out?
Yeah, I think the only reason this movie was saved was, one, Netflix wanted to put a lot of money behind Adam McKay because he's on the rise with his dark humor, and Adam McKay is a genius.
I mean, it was just too self-aware. Like that.
Yeah, too on the nose.
That's what I think it was. It was just too on the nose with nothing. And we've seen how that worked out in the past. It's actually something I always go to whenever I talk to people about things. It's called the backfire effect. You can hit somebody with facts all day, every day, and it almost kind of either helps them like reintroduce, like, oh, I'm open to that concept. But if they're not even slightly open to it, all of a sudden they just keep going, and it's you can be too self-aware in a movie, and that's probably what this was. It was just way too self-aware for
Very
us to do
preachy.
anything with.
It's a very preachy movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, it was trying to be, I mean, it had at times I was like, what separates this movie from Idiocracy? Right. Which is
That's
another movie
a lot
about
of parallels
lot-
that I've seen this week is
yeah.
between
Oh,
the
really?
two.
Idiocracy
Oh,
is
yeah.
good.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's the difference. Like Jared said, Idiocracy was really good. Like, and you didn't
It's
have
a
all
little
those
more
Oscar nominated people or winners
Yeah.
and stuff. Sometimes the cast just works.
Mhm.
And that's not to say, yes, I've said it's a lazy script, but certain the relationship that actors have working together can make or break a movie, whether the script is good or not. I just don't think, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions out there, that this cast did any justice to a lazy script. Like, they could have made it better because
Did
of
about as
how
much as
well
they
they
could.
act.
Yes,
You can only
I immediately thought of Leo being in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I immediately had the I would rather or Django or Catch Me If You Can. Just Leo in better written roles. He's magic. He's a magical actor. He should have won at least 3 Oscars by now, in my opinion, personally. And what was his character in this movie?
a crazed scientist, just like in every other Hollywood movie out there about this nonsense. You can
Getting
only
a taste for power.
I mean, you can only elevate things so far to go. You can only elevate something so far until you hit that. I mean, people talk about glass ceilings all the time, but like Dash said, if your script is only X good, you can only raise it so much before you're just like, look, dude, you suck, but like, I made this the best, shiniest piece of poop I can. I mean, well, you can technically polish a turd, but it's still a polished turd.
I will say this too. I don't know. I thought there were a handful of things that I thought they could have cut out of the movie in order to spend more time on the other thing, like the relationship between Leo and
and Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I guess the purpose of that was to show that some of those journalist types that turn into Vapid, they had some sort of a background behind them and reminding them like, hey, I didn't always used to be this sort of
but the relationship one didn't go anywhere. He ended where he started, back with his wife.
Yeah. He saw the true.
I think if
he saw that true love thing, Jared's favorite.
If you would have taken that out, I think you could have added more stuff. I really didn't even understand why Timothée Chalamet was in the movie.
Chalamet is Timothée Chalamet.
Because you needed Timothy. It's the Ariana Grande thing. Because you could say I have Timothée Chalamet in my movie.
Yeah.
It's like Hansel. He's so hot right now.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess, but it was just like I don't know.
And he didn't do anything. There was like a
he
nothing.
didn't. That's the thing.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. He's a funny
like
dude.
like you said,
Yeah,
Dash, it was a star-studded cast, and they just wanted to say, "Hey, check out everybody that we got."
Timothy Chalamet on SNL was one of the
Hilarious.
funniest things that I've ever seen. Yeah, he's good. But it was just like, why?
And Meryl Streep's very
you're not
funny.
adding or
Go ahead.
taking anything away from the movie. If you were not in this movie, it would not change anything.
I mean, maybe the point was for her to find. Was the point like all the characters finding out what's simple and true about life? Is that I was trying to like analyze throughout the movie. Like, Adam, what was your intention?
She was simple before, though.
Was she found love, like true love, or or some sort of young love with somebody? Was that the point? I just couldn't understand why did you include the storyline in the movie?
Some of the things in life that matter.
I want to see Jennifer Lawrence and Timothy Chalamet bone. Let's go for it.
I thought that was kind of stupid.
I mean, whether it was stupid or not, I don't understand. Like you said, Dash, why it was in the movie. It didn't. Oh, yeah, why? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Other things, and I know for some reason Adam McKay loves wigs. I thought J-Law and Leo's hair was awful. That wig that not Jennifer Lopez.
That'd have been an interesting movie as well.
Jennifer Lawrence had was just horrible. It was just
Wait, so that was a wig?
Yeah.
I was really hoping she cut her hair like that.
No, that was a wig.
Yeah, I'm bad. I have no wig dar.
Yeah. That was a wig. And
I trust a guy in dance to spot
Leo's hair was his own, but it was just like
awful. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the point that I mean, I think of friends of my mom's who I've met there's like one scientist guy who had two parrots always on his shoulders. He always had bird shit on his shoulders. Mm-hmm. Coolest guy ever. Smartest dude. One of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. But science, like this super intelligent types, they just don't care as much about some of that other stuff. They just don't. So that's not inauthentic.
I'll give you that.
But it's not a substitute for a character. Like, oh, he's the scientist. His hair looks like crap. His beard looks like crap. But he's a super smart guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The thing that I heard more than anything was finally a movie that they're doing. They look normal. They look like regular people. And I was like,
kind of.
I thought Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook looked pretty normal. Like, just she looked regular. It was her. Yeah. It was just her. And even Bradley Cooper in all of his Adonisness was just. He was normal. He was a normal
except
guy.
For the fact that those two are like top 5 percentile of human beings attractiveness, like just scientifically with their face and all that crap. Pretty people they like pretty people. She looks as normal as Jennifer Lawrence, who is a gorgeous woman, is going to look normal. She's gorgeous. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl.
I will say, out of all the things that I've mentioned here, it was not the worst thing that I hated about the movie.
Yeah.
The one thing that I hated more than anything, and he kept doing this over and over and over. You're in a storyline, or you're in a dialogue, and it's going, and it just cuts to another scene. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like it would stop like mid sentence, and like cut to a whole nother thing. And I'm like, why? Like you were on something that interested me at that point. I was like, oh, okay, this is where the movie's gonna pick. What did you do? You cut something I don't care about. Oh. He did it like 4 or 5 times in the movie.
Yeah, one with Leo getting ended up in a bag. Yeah.
Yeah, there. When Meryl Streep was on her. Making fun of them 2 or 3 or 4 times that she did it in the movie, it would just cut to a whole nother scene, and I'm like, really? That's how you're gonna okay.
I mean, that's like the jump cuts in the fight scenes. It's like, why do you let it play the fuck out?
And then what was the whole thing too? Because the movie has been edited since it's been out. I don't know if y'all heard that.
Oh, really?
There is a 3 to 4 second frame of the entire crew in the background of one of the scenes.
That's so dope.
The entire crew.
Oh, I heard about this. It was
now it's been edited down to where it's like a half a second. You can still catch it, I caught it after the cut, but I've been on YouTube since I watched the movie, and somebody had posted it to where it's literally like 4 seconds of you see the whole film crew.
That's how do you miss something like that?
Did they miss it, or was it intentional?
No, it's not intentional. It's the scene when Jennifer Lawrence is hanging out with Timothée Chalamet and all of them. Like, it's legit. The entire crew, cameras, lights, booms, all that stuff. You see it all for like 4 seconds.
I've missed some shit while editing, but like that's pretty fucking big.
Yeah, I'm like
that's pretty big.
Congratulations, Netflix. You paid for that. Like, you paid for that movie to come out. You paid for that shitty editing. And if it was supposed to be left in there as like a ha ha ha, I'm like, why?
Beat to it
because you're a genius.
Did Adam actually edit the movie himself too, or
I'd have to look at the credits to find out.
Okay.
I thought I saw an editor.
I doubt that his name is on the editing, but they see the movie and they give a thumbs up.
Yeah, usually they're sometimes in the editing booth with the editor, and they have to get sign off on cut, or maybe Netflix had sign off on cut. Who knows what the
a lot of people messed up.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah,
it went through a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a movie that, my husband laughed at a lot of stuff, and I definitely had my head in my hands, like, oh my god, this is it's sometimes a little too accurate. So, I guess painfully accurate. Certain things, just certain things that are said, like the whole Ariana Grande, calling whatever, that's infuriating. It has a tinge of plausibility that sort of thing has happened on television, and that's considered a big deal. Or people just in general watching, no offense to people love things like Love Island and The Bachelor and whatever. That's fine. It's not for me. It's not my taste. I don't like garbage television. I just don't. I just prefer not to watch that stuff. If that's your thing, fine. But it did have a little bit of me going, yeah, why do we watch so much of that? Why do we spend so much of our brain power watching that? That's only a personal thing. I don't like that it talks down to people for liking that, though. If you like that stuff, that's totally fine. Some people like to just turn off their brain. My favorite critiquers likes to just turn off his brain and watch 90 Day Fiance. That's fine. Totally cool. That you do you, boo. I'm not going to yuck your yum. And this movie looks down on people a little bit, a little too much for my taste. But for some people, they might find it really funny. And people that I trust or that I like their opinion found it really funny. Okay, cool. It makes me wonder if I'd like Step Brothers now, because I've never seen Step Brothers.
Totally different deal.
Step Brothers has a humor that it hits it on the nose perfectly, because you know what it is, but you can relate so much to it. Because like I was the older brother, and like I knew that my little brothers always wanted to punch me in the face, and we did fight a few times where we it was kind of funny because I punched him in the face and he punched me in the face, and then we sat down and we were watching Cops together. So I thought that was kind of funny.
That's
but
siblings.
Maybe
he's
so
too
relatable.
close. It might be the case that if he truly is this level of anxious about climate change, and I personally don't think he's wrong for being that anxious, it's clouding his ability to make actual comedy from it. He's too close to it. If he really wanted to make a comedy about what humanity would do when there's a real disaster and how crappy he thinks humanity is right now, he's a little too close to it and a little too angry about it to be able to make comedy.
I think it made it come off as a finger wag, and I'm better than you.
A little bit.
Yeah,
like Man Bear
like
Pig.
shame on you for not doing more. I'm gonna make a movie with all of these people in it. I will say this: as much as I've ragged on this movie, I did laugh twice, and I counted them both.
Okay.
Shit.
I laughed a few times. I won't say it's not unfunny.
Oh! When Meryl Streep gets up and was like, "I'm gonna go to the restroom."
Oh yeah.
And the other guy's like, "I'm gonna go to the restroom too," and like. Jonah Hill's sitting there. He's like, "Should I go to the bathroom too?" She's like, "No, you sit there. You sit there." And I was like, "You're gonna die." And that's literally why I laughed, because I was like, finally justice. He's gonna die.
and yet he didn't. If you watch the post credit,
yeah. And then 2 was the first post credit scene with Meryl Streep.
With the brontosaur, whatever it was, brachiosaur.
But yeah, when he was like, that's a whatever it was called.
I mean, that character, the obvious stand-in for Steve Jobs / Elon Musk character, was really funny, and the phone thing that could sense your emotions, and that's a funny concept. That's one that definitely hit me. My husband and I are both technology people. Did you hear that those phones were real? Are those real phones?
Those were real phones that were made for the movie. Everything, it's because a lot of movies they will like superimpose the screens on there. These were all working phones, and they made essentially an internal operating system. I don't want to call it an iOS because it wasn't an Apple phone.
It wasn't iOS, yeah.
Right, but it was an iOS. It was its own operating system that they created for the movie.
So let's look at all the money
spent. You paid for that too, yeah.
Spent on this money that could have gone towards actually combating climate change, if that was the point.
All that energy that was used up to create all this stuff that could have been used to bring more awareness to climate change. Way to go, Adam.
Or to actually do. I mean, awareness is one thing. The idea of climate deniers, and yes, I get that. That's the don't look uppers, and the look uppers are the ones saying, hey, there's a problem, we need to do something about it. Yep. I got all that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But no, I did think that was kind of cool that they created something rather than using like CGI or whatever to superimpose. And I was like, okay.
I mean, Joe, the poop in John Wick was like 10 grand or something silly like that. So I mean, just imagine what CGIing a whole bunch of phones was. I mean, I thought it was adorable.
I hate to kill I know you like this movie, and it's got funny parts, and I hate to kill it.
You're not killing it. You're not.
It did have very funny parts in it. I did laugh a few times in, oh my God, that feels just like the things I hate about media right now. Yep. I agree with you.
I mean, it's I guess you hit it on the nose when you said it was meta, just like, President Orwell, the George Orwell, 1984. Like it just all the little things that I think he thought he was being cute about. You're like, dude, I already like that. Okay. You could have been a little bit more subtle with it, but like, you were just like, this is her name's Orwell because of George Orwell, 1984. And you're like, that's cool and all. But like, I mean, can we maybe make it a little bit more subtle? Like if I notice all these things, you're doing a bad job at making them little Easter eggs or trying to be sly with it.
I don't care if they're subtle. I care if they're funny. If they were funny, if there had been actually a little bit funnier and more clever, I mean, subtle, Idiocracy is, not subtle. No. Idiocracy is very much not subtle. It's very broad. It's very much, we are dumb as bleep, right?
I don't know. At some points, it kind of came off
just
as,
whatever.
It almost kind of came off as, I want to make a serious movie. And then halfway through some of the scenes, they changed their mind. And I was like, no, we do comedy. This would be hilarious. And they just filmed all out of order like they usually do. And so when you got the movie, it was like, what is this movie supposed to be? Like, is this a comedy or is it a drama?
It's supposed to be a satire. Yeah, it's supposed to be funny, I guess. Yeah. I found it too painful at times to be funny. Like, it is funny, but it's also this is how it is right now. It is. Yeah. Comedy's got some pain to it, I guess.
I don't know. I thought it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, all the stuff that was in the movie, and I don't want to get political about this, but all the stuff that we saw in this movie could have either been tweeted out by Eliza Schaefer or the Young Turks. It doesn't matter which side that you land on, left or right, or in the middle. It was a very stereotypical movie of let's hit these points and let's touch on all of it. Because this was tweeted out when this would be a good thing to put in the movie, and let's just not dive into anything really into particular. Let's just poke fun out of it.
Rename it Adam McKay speaks through a megaphone. Just speaks through a megaphone. We don't know nobody's, saying a lot of things through a megaphone.
Well, maybe he could just talk to Al Gore and, maybe not go the route of Man, Bear, Pig. So it's probably a good idea.
That's the thing. Your politics aside, yes, there is stuff to be concerned about with certain weather patterns. I'll say that again. There is things to be concerned about. I just don't know if a movie is going to be the best way or the best presentation, a movie in this fashion, right? A satire in this fashion. If that's really what his intention was, the movie itself, if I devoid all that knowledge of what he wants the movie to be about, just the movie in and of itself, it is funny. It is a blockbuster disaster movie. So it could have gone on our disaster movie list, right?
Mhm.
You for Dash would have been for a different reason, just as you think the movie's a disaster.
I don't know. I think
disaster flick.
And again, I don't know a lot about climate change. I'm a dancer that has a podcast. The Day After Tomorrow made more sense about climate change than this movie did. You know,
I've never seen it, so I can't say yay or nay.
2012 made a bigger impact on climate change than this did to me.
Well, so much so that An Inconvenient Truth has scenes from A Day After Tomorrow in it. So yeah, it's interesting. But not about politics, just the movie itself. Yes, maybe if there was a comet headed towards Earth, because it's playing on the fact that, what was it, recently Elon Musk said, we're going to put like advertising or something in space or these missions to Mars. And that part hit home to me because I don't know if you guys are big fans of Elon. I'm not a fan of Elon. I don't think his version of science is very helpful for actual conversation. Personally, the fact that the character in the movie built things that didn't work. Yeah, that made me laugh because all I could think about was the Tesla rockets exploding all the time. I make the joke. You notice the mission to Mars, NASA did it and it worked. So maybe NASA should be doing these things, not Elon, right? It's that point hits home to me. It's very funny, but then it becomes unfunny because it's almost like, and
I mean, like I get Elon Musk and I get what he's trying to achieve. It's his agenda versus NASA's trying to be broader for humanity. You know, I don't really like
science.
I think he's cool. Like, I think it's cool that he built it from the ground up. Because I remember
he didn't. No, he has money from his father, who's an emerald miner.
Oh, dope. Never mind.
Yeah,
then
not from the ground up.
I'd heard a small little thing where, I think it was the money that he made off of PayPal. He's like, guys, we can't just keep building rockets and having them blow the fuck up. I'm gonna run out of money eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it is true.
Okay, so that is true. I mean, I just think that was interesting that they were like getting to that end where it's like, dudes, we're gonna have to stop at some point in time. Like, if this just doesn't work. And I give them props for trying it, but you are 100% right. NASA is for the greater good, where Elon Musk is like, let's achieve what I want to achieve.
It's not even, I mean, greater good is one thing. The point in the movie is making, and I do not disagree with it, is that the Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson flights to space, I mean, what good do they do? They're not really helping anything. They say they're trying to help stuff. Elon Musk designed whatever that tunnel was in Las Vegas. And I mean, it didn't really make the problem he was trying to build in Las Vegas all that great. He just has a lot of money. And that's not a reason for me to listen to him. We're getting into deeper stuff with this movie that had nothing. I mean, the movie really had no depth beyond just pointing out these things.
Movie, because these characters are based on characters in real life. So
they are.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for you guys. Is it Bezos or Bezos?
Bezos.
Is it Bezos?
Bezos.
Yeah.
I just heard
Bezos.
I hear it 1,000 different ways, and I'm just genuine. I'm not trying to call you out, Steph. I'm just like,
I don't care if you pronounce it. It's one of those two. Bezos.
I know who it is. He's
Jeffy B.
I'm not a fan of Jeff Bezos's penis rockets that go to space.
I like my penis rocket to go to space.
Okay. Well,
on that note, let's go ahead and score this bitch.
Well, I'll let you go first, Jared, since you're a bit more positive on the film.
I'm positive because I thought it was cute.
It's fine.
I give it a B. Like, just a B minus.
We're going out of 5.
Oh, okay. You want to go to 5?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Okay. So I guess a B would be like a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
That's a C.
So let's do this.
60%.
Let's try to go with decimals, because what I'm going to do here,
maybe it's a D.
For the end of the year, at the end of 2022, I will go through like a ranking of which movies what we ranked. So decimals will help. So what do you rank this out of 10 then?
Okay, well, so if 60 is a D, then I'll go like 7.5. Is that better,
7.5.
Stephanie?
Okay.
Is
C
that
plus.
7.5? Yeah, like a
Okay.
C plus, B minus.
I'm just telling you what my mother's a teacher. She's done grading. That's usually
No,
how it works.
I know, but I've had a
60%.
60. I've had a 60 that was all right. We're not even
Oh,
talking
you
about
curved on a grade. If you're on a curve, yeah, you're probably right.
I was the schooling, the regular school all the way through high school. I was trash. I was
I'm not
never meant
making
to
fun
do
of
that.
you.
No, I'm just saying that. Like I'm saying that personally. Like I barely passed high school, and then it was funny because in college somehow I was getting A's and B's, and I'm like, how is that possible? I'm like I think I was like 8 years older, and like I had like forgot everything because I was a gun dude in the military, and like I'm like, how am I getting A's and B's? And my instructor's just like, yeah, because you're doing the homework. I was like, why did I did suck in high school and stuff? And he's just like, I don't know. So
I
like
know.
I don't understand the whole gradings. I don't know.
So
I'm
60,
sorry.
yeah, just percentage wise, yeah, whatever.
Okay, keep it at a 7.5 dash. Just keep it at a
7.5%,
7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah.
C plus.
That was a tangent. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right. So Dash, if you had to go out of 10,
I'm going 2.1 on this.
2.1.
Only you only get that 0.1 because I said we got to do decimals here. Yeah, because I would have given it a 2 out of 10. There were a couple things like in the end, I'm a big Jennifer Lawrence fan. I'm a big Leo fan. I do love.
Good to see her back.
I do love Jonah Hill. Timothy Chalamet, I don't really know too much about. I haven't seen too much of his stuff. And I mean Meryl Streep. It's nothing can be said. I think that hasn't been said
Her
already.
middle name is effing.
So I think the cast alone and those two giggle moments of the movie give it that 2. So I give it a 2.1 out of 10.
All right.
What do you think?
And I'm kind of in the middle of both of you. I'll give credit. Mark Rylance's Steve Jobs, Elon Musk stand-in character was like creepy, definitely in a funny way. The way that he talked is very an interesting character. It's great to see these are all amazing actors that they will put a little polish on whatever they do just because they are innately charming. I did miss Jennifer Lawrence, and I didn't realize how much I missed her until I saw her in this. Like she's a great actress. It was lovely to see her again. So that gets some bonus points for the great cast. I probably would give it 5.5 out of 10 is how I feel. Like it's just barely above 50% for me, where you had enough in there where, yes, very funny and very salient points. You're correct. These are things we deal with right now in society, and these are things that I do have some agreement with you on, that of your point of view. But a bullhorn is not an entertaining movie. And if you wanted me to choose on being an entertaining movie, and if that wasn't your intention, that's fine. Trying to use satire, then it has to be funnier. So you're kind of like, you didn't get me there, you didn't get me there, you didn't get me there. It wasn't, salient enough to make really deep, meaningful points other than we should love our neighbors, and love our families, and love is important. And yep, sure, yep. And you didn't make enough satire for the laughter to really hit home on what you're trying to satirize. So you ended up in the middle for me. So 5.5, I think, is fair.
I thought Dash had said decibels, not decimals.
No.
Well, I am an opera singer. I could do decibels as well, but I don't think you guys would enjoy it.
That gives us a 15.1 for this movie.
15.1? Okay.
Out of 30, so.
Okay.
It's all right. The movie I watched.
I don't think it'll be the worst movie we see this year.
Oh, really? Taking a guess on what'll
be
be the worst one we see this year? Got a guess?
I don't want to say it, but
just say it.
I have a feeling.
Have courage.
I have a feeling Morbius is going to be the worst movie of the year.
Really?
I do.
It doesn't look awesome. It looks all right.
And that's the thing. It just looks okay.
Looks okay.
And but I mean, it comes out in the beginning of the year, so it could get buried later on into the middle of the of the list.
Could be a really good movie that they're trying to find a spot for. We get it in a couple
weeks here, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling it's going to be too messy. between MCU, Sonyverse, Venomverse, Webverse.
Trying to put too much crap in.
Yeah, I think we may be doing too much. Pump the brakes a little bit.
It's like I've been saying that for weeks now.
No.
No, I'm talking about
Because there's
just
plenty
on
of good
this movie.
stuff out
Just
there
on
that
this
I
movie.
like that I don't want to stop. I don't want to see bad versions of any movie.
I was
I
about
think
to
they're
say I
trying
love
to
you
make
guys,
it-
but I'm taking it back.
I think they're trying to make a movie.
Well,
or
I don't
they're-
want comic book movies to stop. I'd like them to just keep being good.
I think they're trying to make movies with too much like, let's put some ham in there. Oh, but I like turkey. Let's put turkey in there. You know
Yeah.
what? Add some beef too. You know what?
Bad comic book movies.
Add some chicken on top of that too. I love bacon. Like, okay, let's put bacon in there too. But what about vegetables? I love red peppers. Red peppers. Let's put some of that in there. Let's put a little bit more red peppers. And so, like, you're getting this thing is so much,
too much.
where it's like, oh, all of this is great, but I would much rather have this and spend more time on things. And I think
We'll see.
I'm
We'll
hoping
see.
I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really do. I really hope I'm wrong. But
There's also the fact of Jared Leto. Some people,
he's
hit
or miss sometimes.
he's hit or miss. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I can sit here and go, I love Dallas Buyers Club. I love that movie. But then there was also Suicide Squad.
He's notoriously hard to work with. Like on set, he's something
Yep,
special.
heard.
Now, Dash, I noticed that on the plaque behind you that's not in focus, we have triple digits there. You wanna go ahead and bring that forth?
115 subscribers right
So
now.
right now, whoop whoop whoop. Hi everybody, if you're watching.
How did we finish? Did we hit the 100 mark at the end of the year?
We
Oh,
did.
yeah, way
We
before.
hit 100. We hit 100, I think, on the 29th or the 30th. So
So in the span of 3 days, we've had an extra 15 people subscribes.
correct. So
Yep. Few more
um,
people. Probably some of them coming from that other comic book movie we don't want any more of, like Batman. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the kind of movie that's a good comic book movie. Keep those movies coming.
Yeah.
But the caveat is they have to be good. Don't just throw crap out there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's where the what do you call it? The fatigue of comic book movies is you're thinking of the bad ones that just
Yeah.
threw a bunch of crap in there, and
well, I think we're on the upswing now. We're coming back up. We already
fans are
had,
not putting up with.
and this
crap
is not to
anymore.
put anything against what I'm about to say and the movies that I'm about to mention, but a lot of people don't know too much about them. Talking about movies like Shang-Chi,
Mhm.
Eternals. What was the other one that came out besides Black Widow? There was another one, wasn't there?
Shang-Chi, Eternals,
Spider-Man No Way Home.
No.
Spider-Man. Oh,
maybe I'm wrong.
Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't
I
know.
still
Maybe I'm
haven't read
wrong.
That did pretty well, though. That
Yeah.
did pretty well.
But
I still haven't
we'll-
seen it.
I think especially with Eternals, we're coming back up. We've had Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I personally loved, and I know Stephanie, you did too, Shang-Chi.
Quite a bit.
But I think we're coming back up now because we're getting ready to get into the Batman is coming out. Morbius, please be good, is getting ready to come out, and then down the road we're getting ready to have Thor: Love and Thunder, and we're starting to piece together all of the Young Avengers or the Dark Avengers. I don't know what they're going to call it now. And then all the Disney Plus
A
stuff.
team. No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's taken.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I'm afraid for the future of the Marvel series? Because like it felt like with the Endgame Infinity Saga, like there felt like it was building to something. And maybe it was
Mhm.
because my buddy Alex, who knew about the 2 runs of the Eternals, who knew about all these phases, I was in the know. And now when I talk to him, he's like, yeah, I hope it's good. It's like, why do you say that? He's like, I don't know much about this, where they're pursuing
go.
into. And it was always nice to kind of have that crutch to kind of lean on. So I'm a little nervous.
How it's going to get there? Well, I mean, one of the big crossovers they're going towards is Secret Wars, which is a huge run in the comic books. I don't know how much of
More
that
the
they didn't
Skrulls.
with the Skrulls.
And then you have Armored Wars as well, and that's apparently is supposed to bring in Punisher with
Oh, really?
what's
John
his name?
Baratheon was being it.
Yep. So that is where he will be introduced into the storyline, which will be led up by Don Cheadle. But yeah.
Secret Invasion, doing that one.
That is one of the ones that I'm waiting on, because I have a feeling between Captain Marvel 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, is now being renamed as The Marvels.
The Marvels, yeah.
Because it has direct relation to Miss Marvel being in it. But if I'm not mistaken, that is where we will get our first X-Man.
Interesting.
Whether it will be Wolverine or whether it will be somebody like Professor X, we don't know yet. I think for me,
Storm. Make it be Storm. Somebody please do Storm correctly.
I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Black Panther 2.
So you could bring in Storm.
Well, I think that that may happen. But I'm more excited for Namor, the Submariner, coming in. The Wakandans versus the Atlanteans is one of my favorite things in the Marvel universe, and Namor is just awesome character. And I'm not too keen on who they got to play him, and I can't remember who it is, but who I wanted it to play was
Jason Momoa,
the guy who played DK in Tokyo Drift. You know what I'm talking about? He was the Drift King guy. He was the bad guy in Tokyo Drift. Anyways, dude looks like on point, like Namor to me.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Brie Larson get recast because of her comments.
No. Disagree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she, comments aside, she looks quite a bit like Carol in certain runs.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be funny because, well, that's a whole other discussion. But it's still in the plastic. I haven't read it. I need to start reading this stuff.
How many issues are in there?
Oh no, it's the full thing.
The full? Okay.
Yeah,
so,
it's the full book. Yeah.
Nice.
I've got like a bunch. Like I still have the first 5 Superman 52 ones, and I never get past book 3. Like I'm like halfway through book 3 of 5, and I can just never finish it. Like I always get distracted by something, so I need to get on that.
Finish it up.
Yeah,
I'm that way with I have a comic book line that I haven't finished yet, that is The Wicked and the Divine. I haven't finished that one yet. And of course, Why the Last Man. I haven't finished that one yet. I was gonna wait until the show was on, but who knows if that show is gonna continue. No, we'll see.
Last Man on Earth, or
Why the Last Man? No. You know what Why the Last Man is?
No, I don't.
It's where it's a show on Hulu, actually. It's pretty gory, kind of horrific. It's about everything with a Y chromosome suddenly dies at once. It's not what you think.
Already though, right?
What's that?
You got canceled already.
I know.
Yeah.
I know people are looking to pick it up. Yep.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
It was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. The parts.
Well, Hulu did that last Man on Earth. You guys know that one with oh god, who's that comedian in it? He's really fucking hilarious.
Yeah, from SNL.
Yeah, but like
not Will Forte.
Yeah, Will Forte.
Yeah, Will Forte. Yeah, like he was writing, directing. Like he was really kind of a cringy dude, but like of course he would survive. And then like they had this big reveal at the very end of the season, and I'm like, oh fuck, when's the next one going to come out? And it's like, dude, this is where it can really take a turn, because it was starting to get a little sour from what they could do, and then it takes this big massive turn, and you're like, it's canceled. And it's like, why is it canceled? Like this is the peak of where it needs to be.
I mean, part of it was that dreaded C word that I won't say. Messed up a lot of productions.
Was that really
budget-wise? Yeah, budget-wise.
Was that really around the time the C word started happening?
I don't know. I'm just theorizing. That's why the Last Man got canceled. So
God, that sucks. I hate that crap.
Well, don't know what the decision was. But anyways, there was our funny. Let me do. There was our funny little review of. Wow, we really went to a lot of different places. Our funny little review of Don't Look Up. Our review was about as messy as the movie was, frankly speaking, in my personal opinion. So we are going to leave her off here for this Monday morning, excuse me. Let us know what your thoughts were on the movie. You know what? If you have a different opinion from us, totally fair. You're entitled to have your opinion. Leave your comment in the comment section. Please give us a like. Just remember, we're all human. We're just having a conversation about a movie. It's different than the subject that it's about, so be nice about it. I don't know what this is supposed to be.
Subscribe.
Here you go.
Subscribing, we're liking, we're
Subscribing.
commenting, we're being good human beings, and we're gonna close out this video. I have been Stephanie. Here we have
Jared.
And I'm Senor Dash.
Senor Dasho. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Peace.
Cut the check.